Welcome to Development Book Club. Today we continue with the Numerical Discourses of the Buddha, and we will cover the chapter of the Eights today, which had a couple of really cool sutras in it that I would like to share with you now. The first of which is the Vicissitudes of Life, in which the Buddha says, loss and gain, disrepute and fame, praise and blame, pleasure and pain, these things are transient in human life, inconsistent and bound to change. The mindful wise one discerns them well, observant of their alterations. Pleasant things do not stir his mind, and those unpleasant do not annoy him. All likes and dislikes are dispelled by him, eliminated and abolished. Aware now of the stainless, griefless state, he fully knows, having gone beyond. So a bit of equanimity there. Another cool sutta was the Dhamma in brief, and I want to read you a little bit of that. So a man named Mahapajapati Gautami approached the Blessed One, the Buddha, paid homage to him, and stood to one side. Standing there, she said to him, excuse me, as a woman, and I noted this because every other time someone walks up to the Buddha, they always sit by his side, and this one, she stood. She says, it would be good, Lord, if the Blessed One would teach me the Dhamma in brief, so that having heard the Dhamma from the Blessed One, I might dwell alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent, and resolute. Buddha responds, when, Gautami, you know of certain things, quote, these things lead to passion, not dispassion, to bondage, not to detachment, to accumulation, not to diminution, to having many wishes, not to having few wishes, to discontent, not to contentment, to gregariousness, not to seclusion, to indolence, not to the arousing of energy, to luxurious living, not to frugality. Of such things you can be certain. This is not the Dhamma, this is not the discipline, this is not the Master's teaching. She responds, he continues, but Gautami, when you know of certain things, these things lead to dispassion, not to passion, to detachment, not to bondage, to diminution, not accumulation, to having few wishes, not to having many wishes, to contentment, not to discontent, to seclusion, not to gregariousness, to the arousing of energy, not to indolence, to frugality, not to luxurious living. Of such things it can be certain. This is the Dhamma. This is the discipline. This is the Master's teaching. And one final from the chapter of Eights is about a layperson's welfare. And the Buddha here says, let the Blessed One teach the Dhamma to us in a way that will lead to our welfare and happiness, both in the present life and in the future lives as well. And there's four things that he mentions. Persistent effort, protection, good friendship, and balanced living. So we'll look at each of those. So persistent effort, which is to say that a person is skillful. He investigates the appropriate means and is able to act and arrange everything properly. Protection. A family man sets up protection and guard over the wealth acquired by, energetic striving, amassed by the strength of his arms, earned by the sweat of his brow. Righteous wealth, righteously gained, thinking, how can I prevent kings and bandits from taking this away? Fire from burning it, floods from sweeping it off, and unloved heirs from taking it. Protection. Number 3, good friendship. He associates with householders or their sons, whether young or old, who are of mature virtue, accomplished in faith, virtue, generosity, and wisdom. He converses with them and engages in discussions with them. Balanced living. A family man knows his income and expenditures and leads a balanced life, neither extravagant nor miserly, so that his income exceeds his expenditures rather than the reverse, just as a goldsmith or his apprentice holding up a scale knows, by so much it is dipped down, by so much it is tilted up. The wealth thus amassed has 4 sources of dissipation: womanizing, drunkenness, gambling, and evil friendship. Similarly, there are forces of increase of amassed wealth: abstinence from womanizing, from drunkenness, from gambling, and from evil friendship. And finally, he says, just as in the case of a tank with 4 inlets and 4 outlets, if one should open the inlets and close the outlets, there would be adequate rainfall. An increase rather than a decrease in water could be expected in the tank. So these 4 things bring about the increase of amassed wealth. Thanks for watching. We'll continue next time with the chapter of 9.